Good morning, everybody. Today is February 17th. Happy Lunar New Year to you all. Uh, Today has been a day, to say the least. But I wanted to give an update on the account and what I'm looking to do today. I've already made a couple maneuvers in now, had some good things happen over the bank holiday weekend, but also coming in and doing some risk management. So I just wanted to include you all on that and show you kind of how I'm approaching some things. First things first, looking at the account for the day. Yeah, bit of a hit. Last week we were sitting at 41 and now down like 1900 or so, but this is mainly coming off of our options contracts. Right now, stocks, for the most part, no real change. I am thinking about doing something different with this FCX position. Right now, it's just not looking strong. And when we jump over to the chart, it's not looking too bad, but we are getting close to this sell side liquidity pool. So they might be taking this first. I'll get stopped out. And then, maybe then we can re-enter and see about a run. Possibly might just switch it for Coinbase because this is looking strong right now. It's peaking out over this buy side liquidity pool. It's been Coinbase has just been downtrending for some time over the past. What is this? 18 weeks, just downtrending. So, this is actually looking really good. The only thing to be wary of, though, is that it's still in a downtrend. So, the safest entry to really look for this to be more bullish from a weekly standpoint, we need to get back above here and show some strength. But that's on a weekly time frame. On a daily time frame, if we can, continue from here, hit 214, and then get to that 263, which I feel is the same. Yeah, 263 is though on a weekly basis, looking to see more bullish longer term. That would be what I would look for, and then I'd look for it to explore getting back up here to 444. But you got to remember, Coinbase is closely tied to what Bitcoin's doing. So if Bitcoin continues downtrending, then Coinbase just isn't going to make the move that we wanted to. So it's on my list. Another good one, I think, for a stock position, UNH making a push again. I had a position on this earlier this year. Didn't work out too well, if I remember correctly. Let's take a look. Let it load. Actually, I'm going to have to go further back. Yeah, so this was January 14th through the 27th. So we got hit with earnings. But what's really nice about this, and I think I will put this trade on with you all today, is big gap right here. Give you an idea, got into some leaps for United Health. Reason being, we've been sitting down here in this area for a while. So if we were to break this into upper half, lower half, if you're familiar with ICT concepts, he talks about premium raise, discounted raise, looking at this, dealing range from low to high and where price has been sitting, heavily discounted. And, even show this better, we could actually switch this to quadrants. And you can see we're sitting in the bottom quadrant right now. So if looking for, some type of strong long-term movement, honestly, this would be a great place to buy, in my opinion, but that's not financial advice. It's just something that I'm looking to do. If we do drop out, if we drop below here, then I would look for it to pull down here. And actually, I can just, oops, wrong thing. Just mark this level just in case. But let's go. I'm going to close out FCX and let's start United Health position. So come in here. I need to cancel these orders. Materials is a very strong sector right now, though. So it's not something that is out of the question. It's just not, the play just is not working out how I would like it to. So we're going to close out this position. So now with that closed, took the loss on that one. So not too much, given that, this is roughly, we're right under $40,000, couple $100. I'm not too concerned. And we're going to see what we can do with this. So looking to see where my buying power is real quick. We're going to start a UNH position. Now, looking at the 1 week, okay, still, we're coming up into here. So we do need to be cognizant of that. But from a weekly standpoint, this, market structure shift, this would be your 2022 BISI. Buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And if you look at this, one thing that ICT talks about is when you're looking at strength, you want it to stay in this upper half. So the body's, a little bit below the midpoint, but we have not gone down here, which gives me, the inkling that this might actually push higher. Then when we come down to the daily, same thing. We've pushed up. It's pulling back today. It's gotten back above the 9 EMA. I'm feeling, confident, and that's why I want to take this particular trade. So let's see, how much can I buy? So we're going to establish, get around $1,800. So we're going to, and before I do that, let's establish, where we're looking to possibly get out at. So here, might hold this for the full move. But if we were just say, looking at this right here, previous low down here as our stop, or, if we want to, could go right here. This would be based off of your personal risk preferences. I'm just going to drop it down here and looking at, let's do some math. So if we were to buy 1,800, oh wait, I did this wrong. Buy custom, I'll just put a stop on for now. So we're gonna go here, we'll do 1,800. Okay, so we're gonna do 5 shares. I like multiples of 5. So if we just do 5 shares at 290. So 290.31. And then when we look at how much we're risking on this, 290.31 minus 269.80, that's $20 times 5. So if we get stopped out of this trade, $102.55. I think I'd rather do that. I'll leave the stop here because the position is so small, and want to give it some breathing room, because what it could do is if it decides to come back down, it could use this gap here, which would be, you know, a better entry. Or since it is just the first day of the trading week, let's say it leaves this low here, it could then, you know, peek into this smaller gap right here and then go. I don't know what's going to happen, but given the fact that we have this large gap here, that's what I'm looking to target. So we're going to do here 269.80. Make that good till cancel. This, let's see if we can get it a little bit cheaper. There. Gonna put this into the swing trades account. Yeah, I'll just leave that last 400 there. And we'll see if this goes through. Oh wow, look at that. Slap that right in the middle right there. All right, so that's filled. Let me make sure that the stop order is correct. Yep. Okay, so that's that one. Took a little bit longer on that, but that's kind of, oh, it looks like it is not. Let's cancel this order. It's not showing up correctly. And I had an incident last week where I had, you know, we're just going to do the OCL bracket now. But I had an incident last week. I set a stop and it just didn't trigger. So that's the risk with stop orders. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Then you have to manage it yourself. So we're going to do 269.80 as our stop. Honestly, going to let this ride. And I want, since 7% down, look, I always look for 6% minimum on my swing trades. But since we're looking for a gap fill, we're going to just, you know, we're going to hold this. So 347.27. And if looking to see, okay, you know, what's the gain on that? 347.27 minus the current 290.58. It's $56 times 5. You know, we'll net $280 dollars. And that's not to say, can still add to this position along the way. If I see, you know, it goes, you know, if it does something like as it's going up and then it comes back, goes up, comes back, and it shoots, you know, one of these areas on the pullback, if it's I mean, would still be profitable on the position, I might, you know, add more there because the full risk size on this account now is about $8,000 for a stock position. I've been sticking to $5,000, but even if just using the $5,000 as an example, we can add $3,000 more to this trade, and with the trade going in the direction, you know, that I want, I have no problem, you know, taking that off. All right, so like, not too sure what's happening. I have to do good till cancel, 269.80. $47.27. Okay, so these are just the joys of Thinkorswim sometime. All right, that's locked in. Now, on to our next. Add a new position today. So we have Airbnb. I'm just going to go through these real quick. Airbnb on the weekly, downtrending. If you're if you're a moving average trader, you can see 9 crossed under the, what's it? Oh, this is 10 and 20. So 10 is crossed under the 20. And you can see SIBI on the weekly. on the daily, popped right back up into the daily SIBI, and as you can see, it's wicked up in there, but it's respecting this fair value gap, and the body of the candle is telling me right now, it's weak. So I'm looking for 115.52, but based on my trading plan at 50%, I'll be cutting this contract currently in the 125 put, and I'll roll it. Adobe, this was another add-on. Adobe is just in one of the biggest downtrends I've seen in a while. So hit this SIBI right here. I'll just highlight this for you. And this is on the weekly. So very, very bearish. And now it's left this gap here. But if you look real close, you can see we peaked into it. We just today peaked in there and pushing down. Now, with this one, have earnings coming up March 12th. So this contract is for the 20th. We will be out of this before earnings. Not going to hold anything over earnings, but looking for continuation down to 204. So we'll see how that works out. AMD, just riding the trend on this one. I rolled this contract, so it looks like it's pulling back. Might do something with that. Amazon, this is just still holding from last week. ARM, I think I might get rid of this. Just have to pull back today. AVGO, still in puts. That one hasn't moved much. Boeing had a pullback today, but this was closer to negative 30. It's now at negative 12. Bank of America repositioned these puts. This is now showing, that was a lot stronger. So it's still in this SIBI right here, so we'll just watch that. Carnival Cruise, strong. Coinbase started a call on this one. So similar to what I was talking about at the beginning of this video, it's pushing. We'll see where it goes. I'm not fully committed to the idea that it is full-on bullish yet, but the market has done crazier things. CRM, this is just continuation of the puts. Chevron, been holding this one for a while. Energy is up, but we'll just see where that goes. This Google contract, I rolled this contract earlier today. I had 50% on the previous one, so this is a continuation. Honeywell, this was down 30%, but Honeywell has shown me a lot of love this year. And as you can see, it was down, but now pressing higher for all-time highs. Intel, I kind of got put in the blender on this one, but I'm thinking puts now. I was bullish, but it's not showing with all this noise right here and with Nasdaq coming down in the short term, feeling more bearish, but we'll see how this one plays out. JP Morgan, that one I repositioned. So Kraft Heinz. So this is an example of a position that need to get rid of. This looks terrible. So this one, I don't even think I'm going to try and re-enter. This being an ICT order block. Could see it bounce from here, but based on this energetic move down, leads me to believe that it might be seeking to go lower. So if I were to split this range in half, this being, equilibrium right here, could take this and then take off. We'll just monitor this one. If it decides to rip through this, then I'm looking for this to go down even further. But we're going to close this position out. And for this one, we had 10 calls. There we go. All right, so that's out. And with that, I might add this money to the UNH play. All right, Coca-Cola, doing well. That's holding strong. 3M, this one, bit of a pullback today, but right there, hit that 10-day moving average. 1 day BISI. It was a lot further down, but it's showing strength. And if you're a candlestick person, doji. So this could be indecision or it could be a turning point. I'm just going to hold that. It has not given me the signal that I need to get out. MO, this is close to getting stopped out. If it gets stopped out, then, we'll just take that. Let's look at the chart real quick. Yeah, so light pullback. This one, if I do get stopped out, I'll just wait till it gets right here for a re-entry. But this, I feel, is a very strong move right now. Marvell, MRVL. Marvell's a weird one. I don't know why I can never just time this stock correctly. But it looks like, bouncing out of this BISI after this run up, but Marvell, it's back and forth. It's a squirrely one, but that one, kind of interested in flipping. So let's see, what's the Nasdaq doing right now? Oh wow, Nasdaq, big push. So honestly, it might be beneficial to change like AMD. No. Yeah, so might be beneficial. Not too sure, just because Nasdaq is in a space right now, kind of like in the middle. Like it pushed down heavily this morning, now it's rallying. So might be something I look at off screen. Marvell, Microsoft, this was a rolled contract, so that's why, seeing these ones down. So like Microsoft, peaking, but we haven't like swept a liquidity pool to, justify this. We took the previous day's lows. Yeah. And still downtrending, so hold that. NEM. So this one I re-entered on pulled back contract, just wasn't the best anymore. Re-entered, nice push on this one. So liking that. Netflix, I've just been holding this. Looks like this was up 20%. Now break even. This, I have a stop on. So if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. Let's take a look at Netflix real quick. Yeah, Netflix, I'm not shifting my mindset on that. NVIDIA. Oh, NVIDIA, nice push. Do have earnings coming up, so see how that goes. Move this down so I can swap this faster. Still holding this position from last week. Procter & Gamble, this one we're getting hurt on this one. Yeah, that's just bearish. So, I'm just going to close this one out and can look for a re-entry on this another time. And what's nice, still have this runner down here. So the 155 call that I have down here, my freebies, yeah, 250%. So long term, I think it's still bullish, but, we'll just see. Palantir, pushing higher, but big downtrend. We'll see where that goes. Target, this was up at 47%, pull back, but looks like it's trying to fight back as well. For this position, since I do have shares, now I believe my stops are in profit. So this trade at this point, is profitable, whether I get stopped out on my stop loss or profit target. So very happy with that one. That was a very good trade. Uber, let's see what's happening there. Yeah, because Nasdaq's pushing higher. You know, this could be a turning point, but I'm not convinced yet. I'm going to need to see, you know, close higher than this and really start working higher on Uber to change my position. UPS holding the 10-day, moving average, could possibly pull back into, let's see, where's this gap begin and end? Right there is bigger gap, and then there's the smaller gap. So we could see return to this. This gap is null and void now, in my opinion, because we might do, unless it, you know, comes back, uses it as an inversion gap, which is done today. But based on the strength of industrials, I think this is gonna, you know, rip back through this. This like those pullbacks. Get in on a pullback, watch it go. And then the last one, Wells Fargo. Yeah, just reposition, sitting right here, this gap. So Wells Fargo, Bank of America, similar setups versus like JPM. Well, actually, no, all banking is looking similar. So pullback, we'll see, do they, you know, reclaim these gaps or do we continue lower? So that's pretty much everything. I think what I might do, because I'm an NVIDIA fanboy, I like this strength of this. I like the strength on this one. Came down, hit that halfway point. Let's look at the weekly real quick. Yeah, see, even holding within this gap here, because mind you, the wicks do the damage, bodies tell the story. So right now, we've wicked out of this area. What? 1, 2, big wick here. But all the bodies stay here. So that to me says, you know, this is showing some strength. And February 23rd, so a week out, it's probably just going to consolidate in to that time. But you know what? Just to put on a trade based on what the daily is showing. And because, well, no, we never really got above this. So I'm gonna just leave this. I'm actually just gonna leave this one alone. Because all it's doing now, I need to see what direction it's gonna go. Because it could be using this to go up, or it could be forming this right here. Tomorrow hits this, continues lower. So since it's consolidating right now, I'm just gonna, instead of getting caught up in the back and forth, just gonna leave that one. Marvell, this one I think I will change, and I'm gonna try and wrap this video up for you guys quickly here. Yeah, so this one we're gonna take a shot. So this is what I'll do. So I was in puts, and this is why I like buying time. 30 days out, the contracts don't get hit that bad when I'm not directionally correct, and a lot of time to recover if need be. So when take a look at Marvell, I'm going to sell this put, and I'm going to grab this 85 call. So this is going to cost us $36. Just roll the contracts. All right, so now switching my bias on Marvell, because mind you, Nasdaq is getting hit and it's coming down, but you know, there are stocks like ON showing a lot of strength, and even semiconductors like TSM, like strong. So that's that. What are the other ones? Intel, still bearish on that one. Google, bearish. Where were we looking? Amazon and AMD. All right, AMD. Doji, don't really know what to do with this. Yeah, it's showing, it's pushing higher, but this is not, to me, this does not denote that we're just going to go calls. As you can see, big gap down. So I will maintain my bearish position on that. And then Amazon. This one's a little different. Like we hit this sell side liquidity pool. This could, this could rally a bit higher, but as you can see, look closer here, ignoring these gaps, we've got this gap right here. So this could be continuation, or if we can, because we traded above the high of this low day, if we can get a close above this and then close above this gap here, and then we can use it as an inversion gap, I think I'd be more prone to switching and looking for Amazon to start filling in these gaps. Until then, continue to watch throughout the day and see where that goes. But I'd say I'll make a note. AMD, Amazon, ARM, I have calls on. So this is like, this showing strength. Hopefully, we can push through that. Bank of America pulled back from my entry earlier, as I pointed out today. Still, it's showing better. Like this candle to me doesn't show, bullish. It's just, when I got into the play. Google, Intel, yeah. So I'd say, a lot of things. 3M, we discussed that one earlier as well. Holding this right here, this could see, a bounce tomorrow. And the only one we really switched direction on was Marvell, because even I think Microsoft rolled the puts. Yeah, Microsoft not doing much of anything. What are we closer to? Closer to hitting this $6 here than going back up, 25 here. So that being the case, this is just what I'm looking at. Count, took a hit today. We're down, 2,400 right now. So today's just one of those days in the market. But, I'll catch you all again later this week. And, once again, this is for entertainment purposes, not financial advice. And I hope you all have a great trading week. Look forward to speaking with you all soon.